clapping rake.
That's the intro right there.
Welcome to Worship Tutorials.
Hello.
We have today in front of us a board full of Walrus audio effects.
It is.
We are fans of Walrus. They make awesome stuff. They hail from Oklahoma, which is where I come from. So
is that where you hail?
There's a kinship between us, Walrus. A line of affordable yet high-end, high-quality pedals from Walrus called their Fundamental series. This is what they are currently going for. Available now. The Drive, the Distortion, and the Fuzz, $99. Is it $99.99 or?
The post said $99.
$99. All right. The Tremolo, the Phaser, the Chorus, the Delay, the Reverb, all $129. You know, you can put this thing together for a lot less than other options that are out there.
Here we got some pretty straightforward things. They went with sliders. They look cool. There's no graphics. You know, if you know Walrus, they always have cool graphics on their pedals. They strip back a little bit. We have this board here. It's actually powered with one of their power supplies. And we're running into, for this video, we're running into the Matchless. The Matchless Clubman.
Matchless Clubman, and then a Universal Audio Aux.
Yeah, no slouch there. But here's what we're gonna do, especially if you're a fan of this channel. You've probably been waiting for this. This is just to showcase some sounds. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this to kind of show you like a basics of effects things too. We're gonna show you, and hopefully in this video you're like, man, those do sound good, and you realize you don't need to spend loads of dollars. I'd say the amp is a big part of tone, sure, but
yeah.
I mean, if you turn on one pedal, at that point, your amp, no matter how expensive it is going to be changed by the pedal, you know? So there's that. We are also, when we're done making content with this, going to give this away.
Ooh,
so this whole board, just what's on the board.
Don't pay any attention to any comments on YouTube that say, contact us, you're a winner. No, that's all scams.
That's a thing now. Just don't even bother. We'll have more details when it comes out.
You'll know if it comes from us.
You'll know.
We're not even doing that yet, so pump those brakes, all right?
So let's dive into it. I'm gonna start backwards.
Okay.
And by that I just mean we're gonna turn on a very nice, subtle. I feel like it's more pleasing to listen to guitar.
Should we hear it? Should we hear it without the reverb?
Yes,
first?
let's do that.
Here's the dry signal. That's nice.
That's a nice, like, little subtle, always-on verb if you want it to be. If you're expecting this thing to give you like massive $500 reverb box sounds,
it'll get some.
It gets big, but you're not gonna get the elusive weather reverbs that everybody seeks,
or the reverbs that travel into the depths of the universe.
Yes, these are mono pedals. Again, we're talking about
I was going to ask you, are
ways
they all
to
mono?
keep price down and stuff. So high quality verb, but we're going to leave this on. But I'm going to show you. We'll start backwards here just because, we're already here. So Brian, let's try to make it big. Let's see what happens.
We're going to go big verb?
We're going to try.
Go.
See what happens. So I went through Hall, Spring, and Plate. You can decide if you want trails on or off. Pretty easy with the switch. You do that. That's a secondary function.
Okay, cool.
For the duration of the video, we're gonna keep this nice, a little more subtle plate verb on, just a little more pleasing. There you go. We'll keep that on.
It's a little hot. Yeah, bring that.
So let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
A very good place to start.
You want some clean signal?
Yeah. That's nice. I like that. I mean, I think a drive pedal, an overdrive pedal doesn't need much to me.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Somebody dials it in, they kind of pick things that their ear likes. I don't know, that sounds great. You could use that. I mean, the gain is almost off here.
Yeah, that's how we typically run drives, right?
Yeah, that's
pushing the amp.
You're getting more of the amp there,
and that's not a bad amp to get more of.
No.
All right, let's do distortion.
All right,
play the same thing, ish.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, here we go.
So we got like a dark mode, a silicone mode, and an LED mode. There's different like ways that things are gonna react. So this sounds gnarly. So. So if you start like pushing the gain, I'd say like 70%, 70% of the way up, it almost gets kind of fuzz-like in a way, which is kind of cool. Like if you're looking for a different texture, you don't necessarily want to buy 2 pedals, but you want to be able to have some options. I mean, right out the gate, even with gain really low, there's a lot of gain on tap. So almost like the first half, there's like a little notch it sits into halfway through here.
Yeah.
Halfway through is more distortion. Like when you start pushing, it gets a little more fuzzy. So it can be versatile. That's really cool.
Yeah. One thing I liked about this is the 3 modes. Often on a pedal that has modes like this is true the drive too. Sometimes you switch a mode, like a clipping mode, and it's like, does that sound any different, really? I mean, maybe, but with this, it's pretty different. Like you definitely get 3 different sounds.
Yeah. So fuzz. So we tried this. This is where it showed up on the board, and fuzz typically likes to be first.
Yeah.
We tried that, and they didn't really seem to change much. We're actually on the gated mode, which is pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
We'll start there, but if you're not familiar, as soon as you hear it, you'll be like, oh, that's what that means.
That's fuzz.
So.
Yeah, okay.
That fuzz is in our wheelhouse. That kind of gave me some like Stu G vibes.
Well, maybe because I played a Delirious part.
That's a sound I know. Like Stu G is all. That's just not my thing. But like that sounds like fuzz. It sounds great. If you want something nasty
like
and
those,
spitty,
those single note things that was cool, especially with it's got that zippery Velcro.
Yeah, that gate.
The gate thing is cool. Yeah.
So probably my favorite.
Okay.
I mean, if you're a fan of our channel, no secret. I love the Tremolo.
Yes.
This is as straightforward as it gets. One thing you may not know though is because of the way Tremolo acts, it's easy for our brains at least to think that it's like dropping the signal. But when you think about it, 95% of a sweep on a tremolo is when the volume is not supposed to be 100%. So the whole time you have the tremolo on, only at one little spot, depending on how fast you have it, right, is it going to peak at the top. So it seems like you don't have a lot of volume. So this is really cool. There's a volume switch there to kind of compensate for that. So I like tremolo anywhere from nice and subtle and wavy and slow to kind of faster, but also really choppy. And this one has a random function, which very cool. So let's check that out. So, I mean, tremolo. I'm not hard to please when it comes to tremolo. I just want it.
That's good.
This is the random is really cool too.
Yeah.
So like, use tremolo for anything you want to, but for me, I would totally use that tremolo like drenched in verb and delayed for swells or something like the random. But it doesn't get like super. I try to show on the square wave. I tried to show, it doesn't do like the quick, like intentional, like hard choppy chopness. But from what I've gathered from like other tremolo units I've seen, that requires some extra to get to that. But I mean, you got lots of a large sweep of speed, depth. You can do real nice subtle things. Sounds really good. Boosting the volume didn't really seem to introduce much noise, which is nice to know because it kind of makes sense. So if you're a follower of our channel, we do praise and worship sounds. I don't think often we use fuzz, right?
Hence the name worship tutorials.
So fuzz is not one that you can do whatever you want, but it's just not one that we often utilize. Phaser, I'd say also too.
Yeah.
However, if you are
I got you, Brad.
like Brian and I
know exactly what
we're going to the same place.
Okay.
Take me there.
I'm done.
So there's phaser there. All right, chorus. One that we're probably a little more familiar with.
I got you on this one, too.
This one sounds awesome.
I'm ready.
I already know. I think I know where we're going.
Okay.
So this thing like that. If we go out of light mode, we go to medium or heavy. I mean, it gets thick. If you turn the mix up all the way, you get into like vibrato territory, which is common. There are chorus pedals that kind of do that with like if you crank up mix. So
ready for it? I get it. Okay, we're done.
So the light mode is probably where you're gonna want to keep it. And medium and heavy, it gets kind of like gnarly, like more of a crazy like effect. Whereas I tend to use chorus like a texture. Okay, so now delay. This is cool. What we have here is a fundamental delay pedal. Yeah. And there is, in fact, a tap tempo option. There's no jack for it, which I'm sure some people are probably going to be curious about. This is, you press and hold to enter it. So, you could be needing tap tempo and you just want to leave your delay on all the time. You press and hold. We're now in tap mode. When you're in tap mode, this switch now becomes a subdivision. You got quarter, dotted eighth, and eighth note. And then press and hold. It's not a long press and hold either. Which is nice. You got three modes: digital, analog, and reverse. In my mind, you have like two modes because you can't like reverse is not. If you want delay, reverse is not really delay as much as it's like it's a texture thing. It's different. The digital, super crispy, super pristine. It is a digital delay if I ever heard one. Brian, show us. Take us away. That reverse, okay. So like reverse delay is an interesting thing because like cool. It's like you have to finish playing for it to then know to take your note and reverse it, and so it could be really tricky to incorporate certain ways. And so I tend to use it for like textures and stuff. Whatever they do with that one is awesome. Did it right. It is a nuanced thing. It's really cool. All three of us were vibing on that.
I've never used reverse delay.
Like, Nick heard that and goes, "Say less."
No cap.
No cap.
It's bussin'. So I took just a moment because I have not spent as much time as Bradford on these, and I wanted to try. I want to dial in a dotted eighth delay, and some like a U2E Hillsongy "Who You Say I Am" kind of thing. So yeah, press and hold. Now we're out of it. Press and hold. We're in. That's 6/8 times, so it's kind of weird. Then I'm out of it.
Tapping 1 and 3.
Yeah, so here we are. I like it. That analog mode sounds great.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah.
They're great sounding
Kind of
pedals.
a deluxe memory, man.
Yeah, it kind of has
DM2.
it. Not a lot of mod. If you're curious about that,
Is
we
there a
are
mod
again.
mix?
All
No.
of these are mono. So there's your options here are time, feedback, and mix. Everything here only has 3 sliders, and then they all have a little switch for certain adjustments, modes or whatever. The whole point was to give you a great sounding pedal, and so you gotta decide. I've heard that whole adage: you can have good, cheap, fast. You can have 2 of those, but you can't have all 3. And so it's like, well, what do you want here? Do you want a lower price pedal that sounds good? You can't have lower priced, sounds good, loads of features.
So we can go speed replaced with features.
Yeah,
there you
go.
go.
You can't have all of it in one. And so what they did is,
MIDI
in their mind, and maybe they pull in users and all, they're like, this is if you had a drive pedal, this is the most you'd probably want. And it's not just a one-trick pony either.
No, it's 3 different.
You get 3 different modes. Hear
cool.
things. The distortion, same idea. When you get to the chorus and the phaser, those are more just levels of the amount of effect. The tremolo is you get sine and square wave. Fuzz is the same like the drive. Actually, I skipped that. But then here we talked about these. It's just different modes and whatnot. So they give you a lot in a little box.
Can I make a statement that I think is gonna make you fight me? I think if you look at these and you say they're not stereo, I'm passing. I'm going to say stereo might be overrated.
Yeah.
We love stereo. Bradford loves stereo. Nick is in the back yeah, I think it is, too.
That's one of the first questions I ask when I play somewhere. Do I get to be stereo?
Do I get to be stereo?
I just want to know.
But this
I have to prep differently.
If you are a guitar and you have an amp and you plug your stuff into an amp, you can't go stereo. And that's the way most of recorded guitar has been recorded.
It really has.
Through all of guitar
true.
history.
With unlimited budget that some of these guys have, they still don't always go stereo.
That's right. So I wouldn't let that be. I mean, if you really want a stereo reverb, this is not your pedal. But if you need a trem or a chorus, I think this would fit great, even in a stereo board situation.
Yeah, you don't always need that.
You'd have to split after, but that was my statement.
Yeah.
And it is an
it's
effort to keep the cost down.
I won't fight you.
All right, I live to fight another day.
So thanks for joining us. Thank you, Walrus, for letting us check this out. So 2 things. Again, reminder, we're going to do another video and we'll actually, just to tell you right now, we have a Blues Junior that we bought for other reasons.
Oh, yeah.
It has been modded.
It's a cool Blues Junior.
It's a cool Blues Junior, though. But a Blues Junior is probably one of the most popular, entry tube amps. Sounds killer.
They're under $500, right?
Yeah, especially used for sure. You can get them used $200-$300, depending on where you're at.
This thing into that Blues Junior would kill.
So we're gonna bring that in, and we're gonna do kind of more. This was more here is how this sounds. We'll do a more here is how I would use these pedals, and so it'll be featuring this board, but it's more about how you use a drive pedal and all that jazz.
Yeah.
So we'll do that, and don't forget giveaway.
Yeah, subscribe so you know when that happens.
Both of those things. Subscribe. We'll see you next time.